Everybody, it's Robbie from Soapy Fluffs. We're going to make soap today. I have this delicious big batch. This is a 60 batch of soap. It is tallow based, that's why it's really white, and it's also got at the bottom here coconut milk. This is our this is coconut milk, and it is made from organic oatmeal that we grind up, so it's colloidal oats in it, and then we put oatmeal on top. Really great for your skin. And it's got water and aloe vera juice. And then we have another one. It's just a scented soap, and this is from Midwest Fragrance. That is the wrong one. It is Midwest Fragrance, and it is called, I can't think today. I got oil all over it, so I'm so sorry. But it's Midwest Fragrance Company. They're a really great brand, and it's called French Bourbon. So, we haven't had it. We usually bring it up in summertime. We're also going to be doing body washes here. So let's go ahead and make some soap. I already have all my oils measured out over here. We have tea tallow, sunflower, palm oil, and palm kernel, which gives it the bubbliness and hardness. And then we have great all olive oil. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out my lye. If I get a little bit quiet, it's because I don't want to breathe that in. I'm going to open up my window, and I do have air conditioning on too, just to make sure we get some good airflow. Go ahead and weigh that out. And it's 17.5 ounces of lye. I usually buy in a 50-pound batch. Oh, you know what? I should get water first. I'm dumb. Special today, everybody. All right. Let's go ahead and get my water. And I'm only putting 17 in because I have all that coconut milk in there, which is going to make it liquidy. This is aloe vera and regular water mixed together. There we go. So it's going to be 50-50 lye solution, so it will be a little hot. So I'll go ahead and make that now. Again, if I'm quiet, it's because I'm putting my lye in. Hey, whoever just joined us, welcome to Soapy Fluffs. Okay. This is why I don't talk a lot when I do this part. There we go. Okay. Again, that's me mixing my lye. I'm also putting some silk in there. All our soaps have a little bit of what is called tussa silk. Let me go ahead and move this over here. This is tussa silk. It's very fine. You just pull it apart and put it in there. It just melts into the lye. So I'm going to put that in there. Really gives the bar a very creamy feel. So I will go ahead and mix this up here. It's very hot. Since we're doing a 50-50, which is just 50 lye and water, it's going to be very, 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 very hot. That's why we have long sleeves and gloves on and have hair. All right, of course I have hair. I have a hair net on. Let's go ahead and measure that heat. Oh, look at that. 215 degrees, guys. Very hot. Again, today we're going to make honey and oat. And then we're going to make our bourbon. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them down in the comment. There should be a comment section there. Hey, welcome. I cannot read your name. It is so small. I am blind as a bat when it comes to really small writing, but I see you said hi, so thank you. Welcome. Please give me a like, subscribe, and a thumbs up. We just hit 4,000 subscribers. That I am just so pleased as a small maker to have 4,000 subscribers. So definitely follow, let your friends know. If you like seeing soap being made, you know, it's still being made old-fashioned and not in the factory. All right, and then let me go ahead and get our blender out. We make everything here from hand. You can get our soaps on soapyfluffs.com. I will be having, hopefully, a summer release here of body washes that is brand new. And then, if you want to take a look at our bars and our new box, for those just joining us, here's our old box style, and we just did new branding. This is our soda pop, and these are $5 or buy one, get one free. And we also have a soapy bundle, so you can get a soap, a body butter, a scrub or a bath soak, and a steamer and a candle for $20 on our website. But yeah, to see, we started making them palm size because they're so easier to handle. I'm going to go ahead and blend up this lye because I do have that silk in there. It's very hot, so I'm trying to be very careful because, again, it's 215 degrees. Nothing to play around with. We'll go ahead and mix this up. These aren't really fancy today because these are my OGs. It's got honey from Home Honey here in Hamilton. They're a honey maker. Trying to let you guys see that. Beautiful. And this is, I'll just try to get it. I'm just trying to get the, we have buttermilk in here, and we also have kaolin and clay in here. That milk and against that tallow. Look at that beautiful tallow. I'm just trying to blend it up before I put this hot liquid in. Look at that creamy goodness. Alright, that's nice and thick. You should see it go to an interesting consistency. So I'll go ahead and put my lye in. Again, you'll see these little specks come out, if you can see that. That is just the, excuse me, I want to make sure I don't spill. I'm very safe. That is just our silk that we put in there. So look at that melt. You can already see it change color. Yeah, see how that just melts right down. It's really nice. It will turn an amber color because it's got that honey in there. It's kind of like if you put honey on the stove, it's going to caramelize a little bit, but it's just heat caramelization. It will go back to a nice creamy color. I'm just making sure we get all the oils here on the corners and on the bottom. All right. Our soap is for sale at soapyfluffs.com. Do take a look at it. Give us a like and subscribe. I appreciate all of you who, again, pushed us to 4,000. I thought I would never see 4,000 subscribers. And we are slowly climbing. The good news is we most likely will be opening a brick and mortar shop, so we'll be handmade and a local shop here in Hamilton, Ohio. So I'm really excited about that. It's a big journey I've been waiting almost 4 years for. So we are very excited. More to come on that in a couple weeks. We're trying to get everything finalized. Yeah, see that amber color? Did you guys see that move? Isn't that cool? Okay. Very liquidy. Look at that now. So look at that different change of color. And again, that's the honey. It just caramelizes. That local honey is beautiful. Feels amazing on your skin. Of course, that came undone. That's not good. Hold on one sec, guys. There we go. Sometimes I hit the sides, it pops out. Okay, we got a nice semi-liquid, but this is emulsified together. And what I'm going to add now is that rest of that buttermilk. So I have powdered buttermilk in here, really good for you. We have, again, kaolin clay, and then more oats. And those oats are going to go in. Look at those oats. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Probably can. Yeah, you can see them. Little bundles of joy. All right, and that's going to go in. This is all naturally colored, so there's no micas in this one. Look at that beautiful color. All right. good. After we get that, I'll go ahead and pour this out. And then this one has another powder, but it is a different buttermilk. It's a different coconut. We're just blending it, see how this gets creamy to make sure it's not too liquidy and that it's saponified. And that it's getting the consistency we want. I think we are there. I'll go ahead and pour this out. And I lied. The oat is the second one here. We have another oat one over here on the side. This one does get colored. This is the bourbon colored one, so that's why it's turned that color. I got it mixed up. And the only thing we did with the bourbon one for the guys, it smells like vanilla and bourbon, is we put a little bit of orange and half, which we're going to try to do really fast here. And then we just put a little color on top, a little sparkle on top. Nothing crazy. So we're going to do half of it like this. And we just pour it in, straight into the mold. These are 11-pound molds. Okay. And then we just put a teaspoon of color, because it's orange, but we want brown. Okay, let's go ahead and do that real quick. I don't know why this thing does not want to twist today. There we go. See, I'll bring this up here again. We don't want it too dark. And this one's done. We're just gonna add a little sprinkle, a little bit of texture on top, and that's it. I'm just moving this over here because we have another soap we're doing. All right. And again, this just goes swirls in here. I will try to bring it on top so you can see in a second here, so give me a moment. Again, this is one of my really popular guy bars, gentleman's bar, I should say. People love the French bourbon, so I try not to do a lot of color to it. And I just like to add the color of, or the sparkle on top, just because when I think of bourbons and rums, I think about pirates and gold. Silly me, huh? All right. And so I just put a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of color in it. I don't make complicated bars. They smell good, they do the work, but that's it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and try to bring you up on top here so you can take a look. Beautiful. Simplistic and beautiful. Excuse me. Just popping out there so we don't get any nasties on top, or should I say air bubbles. This is not going to let me do any kind of design on it today. So we're going to do this. We're going to decorate on the very top. And then I have these sparkles. These are actually made out of seaweed. A lot of people think they're plastic. They are not. If you get plastic on your soap, I would report that person. But no, there is no plastic in our soaps. These are made 100% out of seaweed. If you've ever seen seaweed chips, you'll see how they sparkle. So the color is pushed out of them, unless it's naturally green. You don't get that seaweed smell. And then they use natural colors, and that's how soap sparkles are made. They can also be made from a cellulose kind of gluten from flowers and or plants that give out that slushy dry. But they're commonly made with seaweed. I would say most of my suppliers make it out of seaweed. Very humane, nothing crazy about it. And they just melt in the first or second use. Again, they're not plastic. All right, so that's my bourbon soap. I'm gonna get it one more smack. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and move it on over. Move it on up. Move it on. Easy. All right. Let's go on to this one over here. I have all that goodness in here. There we go. To this one, we are going to put, again, our oats. If I can find mine. So we're just adding a splash of oat powder, about 4 heaping teaspoons. Maybe 5. That's a little small spoon today. Alright. And then we get 4. Now we already have the buttermilk, so we have about 4 grams of, it's about almost a handful. This is actually almost empty, so I'm just going to pour the rest in here. Because we only have about, running low on that, on our other coconut milk. So the reason we use dry in this one is because with the other honeys in there, it will turn dark. Unsavable dark. And we don't want that. That's the chemistry, right? Alright, so we have this. I'll go ahead and we will mix that in together. Hey, if you joined, please give us a like. If you have any questions, let us know. Definitely say hi down below. We're making tallow soap here. I'm just blending up the oil. And this is our oat milk and honey. You hear it's grinding, it's because it's really working to get that tallow down there. There we go. Alright, that's good. That's mixed up enough. We're going to go ahead and move on and get our lye. Thank you for the like, whoever just liked us. You guys are awesome. My little suds bubbles. I like soap and clay and she calls us sudsers. I say sudsy bubbles. Because we're soapy fluffs. My little fluffs. Alright, I'm going to be quiet just for a second because again I got to mix my lye together and we don't want that to be breathed in. So I'll go ahead and do that. And again, this is a big batch, so we're going to do a nice, this is Tussa Silk, very soft. It goes in our soap, very luxurious. And that goes right in along with the water and the lye. I have a sparkle on me, don't I? It's left over from the other soap. Let me get that off. I'm like, look, I got a sparkle on me. I tell you, when you do sparkles, they're everywhere. There's no getting rid of it once you start sparkles with a soap. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put the water in there. Again, this is just aloe vera juice and water. Go ahead and do 28. Good. Alright. We'll go ahead and get our lye. So again, let me get quiet while I add the lye. Okay, lye's added, it's steaming up here. I'm not going to talk a lot while we wait for this to heat up. This lye gets extremely hot. We're already 148. 179, 85. We'll get over 200. There we go. I don't know if you could see that steam from our side. But yeah, it's very toxic. 211 degrees. Very hot. And so a lot of people will warm their oils what I do is I melt the lye down, and I use that heat to melt the oils. I try not to put oils on the stove, and this is called a heat transfer. We're at 213, so we've reached our max. Okay, I just want to make sure our silk gets nice and melted. It's almost there. I'll give it a quick blendy. And yeah, so I use, it's 214 degrees. It usually gets there and starts climbing down. I will take this out, since this is my last soap. Perfectly okay to do that. I'm blending it away, obviously, because it's 215 degrees heat. Always gloves, long sleeves, guys. Protection. All right. Now here is our, again, you can see how thick that is. Watch it turn. Look at that. Almost complete on the first turn. So that's what we call heat transfer method. We're using the heat from the oils to melt, or the heat from the lye to melt these oils. Look at that. Watery now. I'm just making sure there's no oil sticking to the side. I see there's a couple here. Problem children. There we go. Alright. I think this needs a little bit more, because if you look at it, it needs more oats in there. It's still too light for me. I'm going to put a little bit more oats in it. I like to have a nice semi-creamy color. So we're going to go ahead and put a little bit more as soon as I find my spoon. Again, these are ground oats that I'm putting in here. We'll put oats on top. All right. And we just want to make sure all of it. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and blend that in. I'll be right back. I think this isn't coloring enough. I want a little bit more honey in there. Give me just a sec. I'll be right back, guys. That was nice. Now that I have my honey, and I have more honey on me, we're going to go ahead and add that in. We should get more of a color change. I'm going to add a little bit here, just to kind of warm it up. And a little bit here, just to warm it up. We don't want any honey clumps. I've had it happen before. So basically I'm taking this, and yes, these are egg colorants. We don't waste anything around here. Waste, right? People throw these away. This is what we use for egg dyes for Easter for the kids. Yeah, so I'm just mixing in my honey to make sure it gets uncrystallized, because there's still some crystals in there. I just want to make sure it's not going to get stuck in our soap. All right. So you see here, I'm just putting a little bit of honey It's on the label. It makes it creamy. And it's a little bit of sugar goes a long way. All right. I'm going to blend this a little bit longer because it's got that fresh honey in it. Getting there. It's starting to turn a little bit of this warm. All right. From there, we'll go ahead and add in the rest of our, I'll try to move this over so you can see. Look at that. All right. Normally you wouldn't do this, but this is 11 pounds. It ain't go anywhere. So there's the oats, the milk, and the honey. I'm putting the buttermilk in there now. We do put sodium lactate. It's a special word for liquid salt. That's literally what it is salt, and it just helps harden your bars and makes them last longer. So when you see sodium lactate on any of our stuff, you don't have to put it on the label. I like to disclose that I put it on the label, but it's just liquid salt. That's it. And the liquid salt makes our bars hard. All right, so we have that in there. We're starting to get a little more creamier now. I think we're okay. This is pretty thick, got a nice consistency. Look how creamy that is, guys. Again, this is our oat milk and honey. And it's got tallow, and tallow makes your bars so creamy. Look at that. Don't put your hands in there now. It is liquid soap at this point. This will be, because of the salt, and because we don't put a lot of water in our soaps, these will be heated and hard, ready to unmold and cut within 5 hours. It's very fast. I was a pastry chef for 20 years. I'm used to dealing with chemistry and heat, so I do not mind doing that. All right, we'll go ahead and move this over here. I have my Witten Walter, my Workshop Heritage mold. This is 11 pounds. Got a couple pieces of color in there. I have to get out of there. Didn't see it. All right. All right, there we go. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to give a little bit of a wipey just to make sure we get all that out of there. Because these aren't treated, we wipe them out and then we wash them once a month. Because I don't believe in putting chemical treatments on our wood. Because I'm scared that would get into your soap, and I don't think you guys want that. All right, there we go. Here we go. Look at that. Look how creamy. This is what soap is, guys, before it cures. Pure liquid gold. There we go. Look at that. And I'm just going to give us another little stir here. Tell you, look at that. Do you see those sparkles? I cannot get away from it. They're on the bottom of the container too. So when you're making soaps, do a sparkle last. Just an FYI. It's not going to hurt anybody. They're just seaweed. So yeah, if you ever want to talk to your friends, hey, do you know where that glitter in that soap is? It's not plastic, it's seaweed. Alright, I'm going to let this sit just for a few minutes. We'll put a couple strips on them. Actually, it might be good right now. I have this side to see where we cut it. I will go ahead and put this over here and stack. And then I have these packing papers that we use to get that look. When I say that look, I mean the beautiful look that we get for the honeycomb. Now you know. Isn't that cool? These won't melt on the soap. There's no transfer at all. It's basically just a design. And I usually do like 3 of them because I cut it in 6s. So I'll cut it this way and over, and I'll cut it in the other way and over. So everybody gets a little bit of design. There. So yeah, that's where the honeycomb looks like. Have you ever seen it on soap? We just push it in all the way, and then we pull it off. Just going to tuck it, tuck it, tuck it. Make sure everybody gets a beautiful honeycomb. All right, and then the very end is our organic oats. Non-GMO, all natural. They will probably fall off when you use them. But you know what? We still want simplicity. So I'll go ahead and put this on here. They're actually ground up more than they normally are. That's okay. Hopefully less will fall off. Alright. And I always put a good amount on because they always fall off. This soap is notorious to having because I put all this on here. And when you cut it, there's just oats everywhere. And that's because I want to make sure everybody gets oats on their bar. It looks nice. I will try to post a short. I think I have some already if you look on my shorts. Not my shorts I'm wearing, but the shorts. Just kidding, I have long pants on. Not my swim shorts, but my shorts on YouTube. I have some of me cutting this, so if you really want to see it, you can check it out. Alright, that's it. So let's go ahead and recap. We have our honey and oat soap, tallow. And then we have our oat over here that we just did. And remember I said set up? Look at this. We just did this. Look, it's like it's almost set up already. I can move this around and it's not going anywhere. Cool, huh? 5 hours. It'll be ready to be cut. A lot of other people wait 24 to 48. Our recipe does not require that. Alright, that's 2 soaps, soapyfluffs.com. Again, thank you guys for 4,000 followers. I'm just baffled at it. It's just amazing that I have 4,000 followers and you guys are here with me and with my journey, and I just appreciate it. Check us out at soapyfluffs.com. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you don't do anything today, go out and do something great for your community. Pick up some trash next door. Help your neighbor out that needs a little help. Somebody needs their lawn mowed. But that's what I'm saying, you know. Just do something for yourself and do something great for your community. You guys have a great rest of your day. And if I don't back for everybody live, have a great 4th of July. See y'all later, and thank you again. Bye now.